Hello, my name's Katherine and I want to make the most ridiculous Valentine's Day outfit you've ever seen. We're gonna make a crop top shirt out of neckties, we're gonna make a skirt out of Valentine's greetings cards, and a whole bunch more. Here's the general doodle of the idea of how it's gonna go, but I have no idea how it's gonna turn out until we get to the end, so stick with me here. Breaking it down piece by piece, here are the reference screenshots of the vibe and the idea that we want to go for. The crop top is gonna be made out of neckties and give a pixie hollow kind of vibe underneath it so that I don't have to deal with the uncomfortable texture of all those hems, and I also don't have to line it. Will be an undershirt with poofy sleeves, and the cuffs will be made out of Valentine's Day greeting cards, which will absolutely cover in rows of ruffles the A-line skirt, which will need to be supported by suspenders or something else in order to hold that weight, and I figure I can make those out of the same neckties that I'm making the shirt out of, so that it is a cohesive look. Clean up your area from your previous projects, and then grab all of the scrap fabric you've been collecting over the years and take a look at the project before last that you recently abandoned because it looks ugly. It's so sad there, all alone. Take it apart, rip out its guts, rearrange them to make them look pretty, color coordinated to what you want, but basing them around your favorite shirt that you know fits well, trying to figure out how many you're gonna need to cover the area and getting enough of the correct colors in the correct order to do so. Trace the shirt that you like and then cut out the shape of that shirt onto those ties that you just sewed together. Mirror it on the back as well, sew them together, and then you have this messy shirt with those weird edges because there's a lot of fabric. Instead of hemming it like you normally do, just grab some bias tape and some heat and bond and iron them to the edges. And then stand there and model and look hot in your weird shirt. It's gonna be part of an ensemble, I promise. Just stick with me. Grab all of that scrap fabric, put it together in a bunch of different lighting sources with your tie shirt to figure out what's gonna be the best combination. Take another shirt you like the fit of, trace it, cut it out twice, grab two long rectangles, mine were a little bit messy because of the fabric I had left over, sew them all together in a shirt shape, and oh my goodness, bada bing bada boom, you got a flowy princess shirt. Look at this. You don't need to cuff the ends, you don't need to make the puffy shoulders, they're so flowy and fluffy already, and it's so smooth and the fabric's so light. Anyways, you gotta get the big skirt going. So you grab the fabric that you have left over from being an extra sheet, the skirt that you already know the fit of, you trace that out, you cut it out, and then you sew it right sides together as you search for your zipper foot that you know that you have, which is a tool for a sewing machine that makes sewing zippers so much easier, but you don't remember which one it is, so you have to look very carefully before taking a glance at the instructions that you're definitely going to ignore, cutting the zipper to size, zigzag stitching the end with a regular foot, putting the zipper foot on, and then doing two lines as close to the actual zipper as humanly possible, modeling the skirt to make sure that it actually fits you, grabbing some duct tape, arranging the cards in a way that looks really pretty, and duct taping them in rows so that you don't forget it when you start to glue them together the next morning. Hello, mid-project Katherine here, shoving my plan off the rails as per usual. If I just glue these cards on and sew some straps, it'll look like a basic Valentine's print skirt. For my design shove, I present rolls of tulle I have in excess from another project to be gathered underneath the cards, propping them up, adding some dimension instead of turning me into a spinning paper cut. Right, so grab those tools, gather it by shoving it under the foot as you sew, and drown you and your sewing machine in tulle before grabbing some E6000 and going outside because of dangerous fumes and working your way from the bottom up to glue them in place. And then sit and soak in the glorious beauty of what you have created in the evening sunlight and get prepared for the final reveal. Are you ready for the most princess-like thing I've made in a long time? Shadoosh. Oh my goodness, I feel like I could glide across the floor like in Swan Lake, but I'm not a ballerina, so let's leave that to the professionals. In the meantime, let me tell you about how I decided to not make another shirt to go underneath the tie shirt, because I think that it looks great on its own. I think the silhouette would be hindered by wearing a shirt underneath this. I also think I'm going to leave the length on instead of cutting it up and making it another ruffle, even though that would be cute. I like the length of the silhouette. Somewhat surprisingly, I don't have to attach the suspender straps because that fabric, the leftover sheet that I have, actually supports the weight of all of these cards, which is convenient because it would ruin the whole princess aesthetic that these sleeves give off.